Gonna be an all-nighter. Midnight buzz, all warmed up, bring on the headliner. The boys are all here, we're fired up, and if it's your first time with us, you ain't gonna know what hit ya. It's gonna get turned, it's gonna get right, lit up bright on a Friday night. It'll go off and blow up just like we thought it would. It's about to get good. When we show up, it goes down. It's already off the hook. I've been here right now. So can I get a witness? You don't wanna miss this. If you ain't sticking around, well you should. I would. 'Cause it's about to get good. It's about to get good. Yeah, it's about to get good. Oh, it's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Come on, everybody, kick it up. Gonna get good. It's about to get good. When we show up,
And we are live here from the remnants of Auto Club Speedway. Of course, nowadays it looks like a warehouse lot, like you see in the background just behind the front stretch grandstands that spans across the entire property nowadays. But here in the sim racing world, it is still all in its glory. This 2-mile speedway is ready to host tonight's running of the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series. It's the Hollywood 150 here coming in to this race. It's another race in the round of the playoffs. Another round, I should say, pardon me, heading into this next round. It is the round of, I believe, 11 or 10. I think it's round of 10. I forget how they do it. They have weird numbers here. Anyways, tossing out in the booth. We'll figure this out as we go along. Ryan Bogey joining me. Ryan, Auto Club is such a unique track on the schedule. How do we feel, watching these guys get ready to go out and do battle here at this 2-mile speedway?
Yeah, I expect a lot of fun, especially in these old or legacy Gen 6 vehicles. I expect a lot of fun around this 2-mile racetrack. Of course, very reminiscent or very close to my favorite track on this game, which is Michigan. So I do like this track a lot, and I know a lot of drivers who are racing tonight, and a lot of drivers who I've spoken to before love this racetrack as well. So I expect a lot of good racing, nice and maybe 4 or 5 wide racing in the back on these restarts, and definitely to start the next round, or to start a round at this racetrack, definitely going to be a good one tonight.
Yeah, it's a very short field comparative to what we normally see here in the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series. Look at only 23 drivers so far entered. I think one more maybe on their way. But even then, I mean, it's a small field for what we're used to seeing. So they're currently qualifying. We'll go through the qualifying lineups and everything once we get to the end of it all. About a minute to go in qualifying right now. 20 drivers of the 23 have posted a lap time. The other 3 so far have yet to do so.
Yeah, that's just how most of these leagues go towards the ends of the season. We only have 4 races left, and usually around the playoffs is when the car count starts to get less and less. So we'll probably see for these next 4 races a little bit shorter fields, but that's fine. They should all still be putting on good races.
And especially like last week at Talladega, what an exciting race that was. Leading up to the finish there, Jason Marshall scoring the victory last week and heading into this week now after just getting his first career win here. He is looking like he's going to have a good starting spot, getting ready to chase this championship. We'll keep tabs on it as we get ready to go into the starting lineup. I wish we had a graphic that told us who was advanced, because I know we had as part of the broadcast, but there's nothing else telling us who advanced, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. We'll figure it out in due time, I would say. So the checkered flag should be flying for qualifying here. Indeed it has. So as we get ready to get set for this field, ready to go racing under the lights here at Auto Club in Southern California, let's take a look at your starting lineup for tonight's running of the Hollywood 150. It is Ethan Workman starting on the pole with last week's winner Jason Marshall starting to his outside. You've got Dimitri Munoz and Garrett White starting in row number 2. Row 3 is Oscar Enriquez and Larry Miles. It's Corbin Collins and Andrea Robinson making up row number 4. Then Connor Trafari and Brandon Thomas round out your top 10.
In row number 6, we have Quentin Haley and Praven Richard. Row number 7, Bradley Sawinski and Jason Samito. Row number 8, Chase Givens and Ryan Kame. Row number 9, Aiden Smith with Jay Mulder. And rounding out your top 20 is Declan George and TJ Lear.
Only 3 drivers at the back of this field. Chris Lilly in the 53, Micah Walls in the 47, and James Yusa in the 42. Wraps up your field of 23 so far in this field. I think Ethan Harrison was the one that said he was trying to get into the session loading in. So as he is in the process of loading in, he should show up here soon and make it a 24th car for this field tonight, but just 23 on the starting grid.
23 on the starting grid, 9 chasers coming into this round. The chasers being Connor Jafari, Jason Marshall, Bradley Sawinski, James Usa starts last. Larry Miles, Chase Gibbons, Corbin Collins, Jason Samito, and Ryan Barone. I do think we are missing a few of those chasers.
Barone's not here tonight. I noticed that. First one that jumped off the page when you said that. So as we get ready to go racing, pace car rolling off of pit lane, the field going to follow suit. As mentioned, 23 cars in this field so far, but that's okay. Still got some chance at some action here under the lights. Not sure what has happened to some of these paint schemes. They're not loaded in right, like the 96 of Oscar Enriquez. Definitely not the right paint scheme on that car. I know he usually runs a BRN theme scheme, and not sure what that is. It's showing up. I think it's not supposed to be like that. So we'll see if Trading Paints, which has been bugging all this past week, we'll see if that fixes it. Maybe as the field makes its way.
He is in the BRN scheme.
Yeah. Not sure what Trading Paints is doing right now, but we'll kind of make sure he gets loaded in the right scheme, hopefully here in the next few seconds before we go green. Some more drivers kind of refreshing in the background and in front of them. We'll see if it fixes his paint scheme. I hope it does. There it is. Perfect timing. The pace car is going to dive off towards the safety of pit lane. Ethan Workman, Jason Marshall are your leaders as we head towards the start-finish line. The green flag is ready to fly. 75 laps of racing in Southern California. We're underway. Lap number 1, give it to Jason Marshall, leading at the line, picking up where he left off last week. He's got a battle coming on the outside, though. Garrett White in the number 26, powering by on the top side.
Garrett White trying to take the lead early. If I recall from last season, when we were running the Xfinity cars, he was one of our fastest drivers and got into a wreck pretty late. So expect to see him up front battling for this win like he is right now.
And looking back at last season's race, of course, won by Alexander Hyder, the 26 of Garrett White. He was able to compete in that race. I'll look and see more of his stats. Finished 10th place in the race. He was up front mixing it up. He didn't lead any laps, but he was up front in that race. And now leading laps here tonight Marshall running in second. Enriquez slides up into third. Workman fourth. Larry Miles is in fifth. Oh, wrecking in the back, Jay Mulder! And I think it's Michael Walls that's involved in the 47. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Mulder still into the outside wall. So we'll fire up the BRN replay for the first time tonight and show you what happened coming off of turn number 2. 51 maybe got too high on corner exit. Caught the outside wall and then just slid back across track and tagged Michael Walls in the 47. Sent him around as well.
Yeah, Michael Walls with a lot of damage after that. Chris Lilly got a piece of it as well.
He bounced off the wall and right into the 47. Just nowhere to go. Not sure if we're choosing this time.
I don't think we are.
Nope. Still gonna go one more lap.
So we had a few takers in the back. DJ Lear, James Usa, Declan George all coming in pit lane. Michael Wallace is DNF from the race. So he'll be our first retiree at lap number 3 here.
Seems like the Mississippi Missile failed to launch here tonight. Swept up in the accident, lap number 3, and taken out of it prematurely. Not sure what Garrett White's doing. Slowed way up there in turn 2 and already kind of stacked up, not really stacked up, but stacked up behind them. And now back up towards the pace car.
Just looking down the playoff order here, I believe Barone is the only one. Oh, and Jason Samito. Oh no, he's running 13th, so
Yeah,
it's just
here.
Barone. Yeah, he's here, so it's just Barone not here, so that's gonna definitely hurt him in points, especially since he was already, well, I can't really see points, but he was last on the leaderboard out of the playoff drivers.
They're choosing this time. We'll see them choose as they come down the front stretch. I'll start finish line and look and see if I can maybe take a peek at this and see if this is the right one to look at. Indeed it is. So if this is correct, everybody is reset at 5,000 points. There's no bonus points for any of these drivers, at least showing up on the iRacing UI. And I know it doesn't show up on SimRacer Hub properly because right now it shows that Jason Marshall is the points leader. I think they just have this currently as outright points. They haven't changed anything, made any playoff changes, so I can't verifiably say what's going on, unfortunately. But what we do know is we have 8 drivers in this field that are part of our playoff field. You can see they have the gold splitter, the gold windshield banner. Most of them do, and then the gold spoiler as well, like you see on the 94 back there, the 71, the 28. The 3 has it as well, so does the 30. So
I think everybody but the 9, Connor Jafari, and yeah, Corbin Collins has it. So yeah, the 9 of Connor Jafari, I believe this is the only playoff driver here who doesn't have the gold banners on.
I don't remember if it's a win in advance to the championship round or how it goes. We have not been, we have not gotten this classified information yet, so we're kind of just as useless on this as anybody else could be. But pace car is off. Garrett White's going to lead the field to the Geico restart zone. He'll mash the gas pedal and put us back to racing here at Fontana.
A beautiful launch by that 26. Gets up to the lead very quickly here and clear of the rest of the field.
Marshall under fire from Workman, Enriquez, and Trifari as they're 3 wide back there for third. See everybody wash up off the corner towards that outside wall. We're on the high side. Down the back straightaway is Workman still on the inside of Trifari. Trying to make this pass stick, can't quite do it. Trifari clears him now side by side with Enriquez as Marshall side by side with Garrett White for the race lead, who bobbled a little bit there. Marshall pulling down to the bottom lane, trying to pull away a little bit, but right now he'll have just a slight advantage as they cross the start-finish line that time.
Yeah, I don't know if Garrett White hit a seam or if Marshall just kind of upset his car with the arrow push, but that 26 got very loose in turns 4. Almost just took out the 3 with them.
And you see Enriquez up there way up to the top side trying to make the outside lane work. He's up to second, going to shove Marshall down the backstretch now. See what this 96 Oscar Enriquez can do. They're 3 wide for the lead.
Garrett White trying to charge back to that inside. Marshall's going to clear Enriquez, but here comes Garrett White on that inside trying to take the race lead.
Run coming on the outside. Marshall is clear. He'll get down low in front of Garrett White now and pull back towards the high side. Caution is out on the racetrack. It's further back. Chris Lilly is around. Heavy damage on the front of that car.
He already had damage prior. I don't know if he hit anything else.
Eliminated from the playoffs last week, and another issue for this number 53. So we'll take a look at your BRN replay and see what happened to put him in this position that he's in. That is a weird.
Very interesting.
That doesn't feel like it. That wasn't done on purpose. I don't think that was a weird snap. That number 53 car. You watch it come off turn 4 right here. We're gonna ride on board with that. That's weird. I don't want to say that's intentional because it sure doesn't seem intentional. We're gonna listen in here. Okay. Interesting. I don't know what that was. I don't want to say anything. But
I feel like if it was intentional, the wheel would have jerked a lot more to the left.
yeah, it felt like he was maybe trying to correct it to keep it off the wall, and it just snapped when it did with the damage he has. That's what I'd be inclined to believe. And also, too, what purpose would he have getting intentional caution right now on lap number 10? There's no benefit to it, so that's just a weird accident there. I don't know if that's just the handling of the car being so far gone or what, but we're choosing this time. Chris Lilly had an incident there by himself out and back. He is making an extended stay on pit road to get that damage repaired. We got some drivers coming down pit lane, maybe just topping off on fuel if they can.
Two cautions already in the first 10 laps. Don't know how the truck series race went, but the GGR race yesterday had no caution, so we're already not beating that. But we'll see if we can get a nice green flag run here for these next 65 laps.
The pace car is going to dive off towards the safety of pit lane. It's Jason Marshall leading. Garrett White on his outside there, this time through the choose. We'll hit the Geico restart zone, and it'll put us back to the green flag. Back racing here at Auto Club. Back in the background, a little scrambling from the 28. Shot up, back in line. Now this time, I think it's Corbin Collins on the outside, trying to make the top side work.
Collins, of course, has a few wins this season. It's kind of been quiet in these playoffs so far. Looking to change that tonight, though, maybe with a win here at Fontana, as he's 3 wide outside right now.
And with such a short field, he's got a good opportunity to at least continue to capitalize on this short field. As they all battle, Garrett White, your race leader, now in the outside lane. Collins, a 4-time winner this season. I think the only other driver in this field right now, only 2 other drivers, Connor Trafari and Dimitri Mundras, that are multi-time winners this season in this race.
Oh, Ethan Borkman just wrecked himself on Corbin Collins. Oh, and he's hardened to the inside wall.
That is killed. There's killed, and then there is whatever happened to this 03. Quick look at what happened here. Not sure what got him so sideways to get up into the back like that, but that is a hard lick for the 03, and it's not going to draw a caution. He's making his way towards pit lane now. And he'll make it to pit road. No, he's
Staying out?
staying out? He's staying on the racetrack? With the car damaged like that? If it runs!
Oh, meanwhile, Oscar Enriquez is going for the race lead.
Just mind blown at what I'm witnessing right now.
The whole left front is just, like, not even touching the ground.
It's, yeah, like, if you look at this car, the left front's just up off the ground. And the field is rapidly approaching this 03. He's down on the apron, out of harm's way, hopefully, as they make their way through 3 and 4. And he's down there, out of the way, still limping around, somehow. Maybe finally going to come to pit road this time. Indeed he does. Our pole sitter tonight out early here at Fontana. But the show goes on. And right now the show looks to be Garrett White versus Connor Trafari, Oscar Enriquez, Jason Marshall, and Corbin Collins all giving chase.
Connor Trafari going to try to come up here and battle with Garrett White. I would say if one of these playoff drivers do win, they're going to be locked in because that's how it was last round. So I don't think anything would change. Of course, Trafari started off the playoffs with 2 wins back-to-back at Kentucky and Watkins Glen. So he's looking for another one here and to most likely lock himself into the championship race.
Got Dimitri Mundras right here in the background, closing in on this battle. Another driver that missed the playoff cutoff last week at Talladega. He's just trying to come out here and finish this season with some more wins to his name. Trophy hunting in that 14. Got 2 wins thus far and looking for a couple more if he can close it out. But right now, side by side for the race lead. Here comes Trafari on the inside through 1 and 2. Can't quite get there. Contact almost made. He's able to keep it off of the 26 as they head down to turn 3.
Trafari's just still trying on that inside, but Garrett White just hogging up that outside, getting the runs off the corners. And now he's got Jason Marshall there to help maybe push him around this 9. And Marshall's going to try to take advantage to pass Connor Trafari here.
Some guys closing up on this front of the field right now, kind of in the background now. In the 7th place, Jason Samito in the 94. 8th place, Quentin Haley in the 13. Samito up 7 spots since the green flag, and he's continuing to push forward in that number 94 Brandt Chevy SS. He's got Quentin Haley just behind him now in the 13, kind of moving up with him. These two looking to see if they can throw their hat in the ring for this battle for the race lead.
Coming up to a lap car. This is 53 of Chris Lilly.
Notice a lot of these guys, there's not a lot of guys going in the bottom lane there, kind of shifting over towards the top lane.
Yeah, it's a different story in 3 and 4. Every lane being ran through this corner as Connor Trafari has another run, but just couldn't get side by side with that 26.
Car in the wall back there, Oscar Enriquez caught the wall back in the back here.
I think that 96 might be struggling a tad bit on this longer run. He's currently getting caught by these 3 drivers, Corbin Collins, Jason Samito, and Quentin Haley. Still holding his own though, just currently looks like battling a tight race car. About a 4-car breakaway now. Oscar Enriquez and Corbin Collins, they keep going side by side, kind of side drafting each other back from that lead pack. Corbin Collins has just been trying to pass this 96 for the past 3 laps.
Trafari trying to get to the high side if he can. Kind of poking on the right quarter panel of the 26 there for a second. Falls back in line with him. Now going to try the run back on the inside. Goes Trafari. Can he clear? He's going to slide up in front of Garrett White and take over the top spot is Trafari. White going to cross back over to the inside lane and get back out ahead for now. Here comes Dimitri Moonders, going to force to the outside of Trafari. Make it 3 wide for a second. Now Moonders goes to the outside of Trafari for second.
Connor Trafari might be passed by all 3 of these guys currently running the outside. All 3 of them are going to try to train around this 9, but it looks like he's going to be able to tuck in behind Dimitri Moonders.
Garrett White still in control.
Moonders way up the track. White up there too to give him some dirty air. Trafari underneath. So I think we have green flag pit stops about to happen. I think the 30 of Larry Miles just radioed in that he's going to come down pit lane.
So here comes Larry Miles.
Yeah, one of our playoff drivers trying to undercut here.
Oh, Jafari to the
easily.
wall! Motor's got in the back of Jafari. Jafari hard into the outside wall. He's still going now, back to fourth. But that was a good shot to the outside wall. You can see the damage on the right rear. Quick shot back at the PRN replay to see what happened off of turn number 2 with these two as we stay green. Jafari working the inside, trying to get by Garrett White right here. He tries to fill a hole. Moonders tries to go below, and they meet in the middle. And Jafari gets into the outside wall. Meanwhile, we're 3 wide just behind Enriquez, Collins, and Richard. The 09 on the bottom trying to make it work. He's going to get by them both and get to 5th. An aggressive slider out of the 09. Praven Richard trying to hold the spot as now it looks like Jafari coming to pit lane this time. Looking to see if there's any damage on the 14. Indeed, the nose is pushed in. And you know with these cars, if that nose gets pushed in, it could spell the end of your race in due time. We saw it happen with Alexander Hyder, I think in Atlanta earlier this year. We could see it happen tonight.
Just have to see. That nose is pushed in pretty good on the 14. So on pit lane, they're probably going to have to try to dent it back out.
Oh, contact with Jason Marshall! And Garrett White is just loving it.
I don't know how these guys have not wrecked yet. They're just a bundle of cars back here with Jason Marshall now. Moondra still running up in second. Garrett White has a nice lead. That 09 of Praven Richard, he's looking really good right now. I think he might have saved his tires a bit better than all these other guys around him. Trying to get around Corbin Collins, but he's made his way through the field.
Right there in the back are the 9. Connor Jafari just took fresh tires coming through this field right now. Currently off the lead lap. In 18th place, first car 1 lap down is Jafari.
Dimitri's going to come in this time by. White's going to stay out another lap. Corbin Collins as well. And a few others.
It's Oscar Enriquez. And I believe Quentin Haley. Further back, Andre Robinson coming in as well. Garrett White running away with it for now. Expect White in maybe in the next 2 laps or so. And talk about timing this time. He comes down to pit lane. Raven Richard coming as well as Jason Marshall. See Aiden Smith in the 89. There's Jason Samito. I believe that in the back. Further back, it's Brandon Thomas and maybe Ryan Kame. Indeed it is. Brad Sawinski and TJ Lair stay out. So does James Yusa. Declan George yet to pit.
Can't remember if it's this league or not. If it's leading a lap gives you a bonus point. But if it does, that'll certainly help this 28.
I do believe it does, so stay out, lead the lap, get the bonus point, and then pit afterwards. And it looks like that's what he's doing. Just get down low, heading to pit lane this time. Looks like TJ Lair going to stay out another lap. Same with James Yusa, hoping that number 86 pits before him. Thing is about these guys, they came in and topped off on fuel on our last caution 22 laps ago. So they can maybe stretch it just a little bit. And we'll see how that maybe comes into play on the strategy call for them making that stop when they do.
Yeah, I just noticed on the 3, I guess, that contact with Dimitri Mundris, he's got front bumper damage as well. It's pretty pushed in pretty good. So we'll just see how those oil temps hold on the rest of this race, as Lair's going to stay out another lap. I believe Yusa's coming in.
Yeah, he's coming in now. Declan George behind. He's staying out as well. Bradley Sawinski coming off of pit lane now. As things stand, though, how they cycle out. Larry Miles is your race leader from those that have pit over Connor Trafari. Then further back is Garrett White with Dimitri Mundris, Corbin Collins, and Praven Richard not far behind as they make their way down to 3 and 4. There's TJ Lair, your current race leader, making his way through 3 and 4 as well.
Yeah, nice undercut strategy by this 30. Larry Miles pitted about 5 laps sooner than everybody else.
And honestly, not a bad gamble here for TJ Lair. He's staying out right now, 24 laps since he pit last. We saw the leaders go about 30-ish laps before coming down pit road. So maybe he's going to push to that 30 mark right now and then come in then. If he does so, it'll be about lap 40, 41 when he pits. He won't be able to make it to the end, but he'll be able to make it to where he only has to take a splash on the final stop, which could save time and could be the defining factor for his race.
94, Jason Samito just came back in, must have sped on pit lane.
He did.
So that's going to really hurt him, probably for the rest of this race, as he's going to be a lap down.
He's serving a black flag. He is going to be pulling off of pit lane now. He is heading back to the racetrack, but it is a tough blow for that 94. He was up there in contention. Now he's going to be putting himself a lap down because of all this. We'll see what happens for him and if he can shake it off and maybe get a good run out of it here at the end of it. Corbin Collins is currently in 6th. He's got Praven Richard, Dimitri Mundris, and Quentin Haley behind him as Mundris has dropped back 2 spots to the 71 and the 09. They're still chasing Garrett White, Connor Trafari, and Larry Miles. Larry Miles currently 2.8 seconds ahead of the 9 car of Connor Trafari, who's got a 1.6 second gap over Garrett White, who sits in what is 5th, what will be 3rd once the pits cycle through, with Lair and George coming to pit lane when they do.
And this 14 of Dimitri Mundris, I don't know if he's just saving his tires or if that front bumper damage is really affecting him, but he came out right behind Garrett White after their pit cycles, and now he's back here in 10th. So he's slowly fading back through the field.
I don't want to say it's temps getting hot. Could be. The way this car works, if you get the radiator kind of punched in like that, you will start to overheat eventually, and then your car will go kaput. And so maybe he's trying to avoid that, or maybe it's what's happening, and he's just trying to hope and pray that it stays and survives the rest of this race. But still a long way from over. Just maybe coming up on the over the halfway point, but even then, it's still got to last all this way. It's not going to, I don't think, if it's overheat. If it's starting to overheat.
Yeah, and I'm watching the 3 as well with that push-in nose, and it looks like he's also losing time down the straightaways, currently running P12.
Can't see the dash to see the tach or anything on this car. I'm going to try to compare this on board. I feel like he's clutching in the corners. We'll go to Trafari's car and just listen in.
TJ Lear's going to be pitting this time by.
Cut back to Mundris here after riding with the 9. It sounds like the 14 is clutching in through the corners. As you mentioned, Lair coming to pit lane this time. That hands the lead to Declan George in the 17. Gotta wonder, it's either a case of it's try to just clutch in, see what it does. Maybe the case of clutching in could help with some fuel saving economy and trying to maybe stretch it a little longer than the rest of the field will, and then pit later. I mean, there's a lot of options there. I think it may be a case of trying to pit later, but we'll see as time goes on.
It's going to be interesting. He pitted 9 laps ago. I don't know if he's going to be able to make all of that if he tries to save from here.
No, so he's not making... The plan is not to make it to the end of the race. The plan is to stretch as long as you can and have the fresher tires in the later stage of the run. I think that might be what the 14's trying to do. That's only spitballing. I'm not a crew chief. I'm not really good at this whole racing stuff. That's why I'm in the booth. However, what I think it's going to come down to is if he's going to try to stretch long in this run, get as long of a run as he can, build up the gap like we saw with TJ Lair, like we saw with Declan George maybe, and then take your tires near, the end of the race and see if you can't make a charge at the end of it. I don't know if that's going to work. I'm just kind of spitballing an idea of what it could be, but we'll see. It's 35 laps to go, coming to 34. Larry Miles is taking the race lead now. Garrett White is in second by 1.3 seconds behind Larry Miles. 2.5 seconds back of our race leader is Connor Shafari, who is up into third. Braden Richard in fourth. Corbin Collins currently runs in fifth, hot on the trails of the 09 car as they make their way down the front stretch.
Kind of interested with TJ Lair's and Declan George strategy. Of course, they pitted just now with 35 laps to go. We've seen these drivers go about 30, 32 since they pitted. They also had 2 cautions, so they might, if they go into like fuel saving mode, they might be able to make it all the way. I just don't know if they're close enough to the front of the pack before getting passed by everybody who's going to pit again.
I mean, we'll see. Right now, it shows that Larry is 16 seconds back of our race leader, so it's not like he's so far off. Declan George is a lot further back, 32 seconds back for the 17. So Larry, at least, I mean, the lead that he had built up, I mean, you never know. With pit stops and how they go, it could be a massive shakeup if it goes green to the end. He may have a chance at stealing one away. What we are seeing, though, is a drastic drop-off in tires here. At, lap 17 right now for Miles, lap 11 for White, and it was about maybe 0.6 of a second faster for Garrett White than Larry Miles last time by. As Moondress is slow, he's wrecking on the backstretch! He is spinning down on the bottom, and looks like it's not going to draw a caution. We'll quickly cut back and see what happened to the 14. Well, if he was trying any strategy, it's out the window. Contact with Andre Robinson. Just upset that 14, spun it around on the apron, away from the racing surface, away from any other cars. And just like that, it will not draw a caution. So Moondress, whatever he was trying, if he was trying something, it's not going to matter. Meanwhile, up front, though, Garrett White has taken back the race lead from Larry Miles. Battle heating up for third. Richard has it over Trafari. And then further back, Aiden Smith, Oscar Enriquez side by side for what is sixth.
Braden Richard has found himself into the podium, passing Connor Jafari. Of course, got his one and only podium this season a few weeks ago at Watkins Glen. Going to have another solid finish here tonight at Fontana.
A good pace to do so. And maybe even a dark horse long shot at winning this race.
That last long run we had, it looked like he saved his tires better than everybody. Of course, that was with Garrett White battling for the race lead, and now he's up front with clean air. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, but he's going to slowly close in here to Larry Miles and pass him for second before too long.
Battle heating up. Aiden Smith and Quentin Haley door to door as they make their way onto the front stretch, battling it out here for what is a top 5 spot. And Smith is going to take advantage for now. Enriquez darting down to the apron. And now here comes Smith on Trafari for what is going to be 4th place.
Oh, a little bit of contact coming off the corner. He's going to get around that 9.
Trafari likely struggling with that rear end damage that he got with the contact with Dimitri Mundras earlier. You see it there on the right rear, on the back of the car, and you can see him fighting that wheel in the cockpit. Just trying to hang on to it. Fighting like crazy with this machine, but he is able to hang on to it for now as here comes Corbin Collins on the inside. Going to try to go by them all here. Enriquez on the inside of Quentin Haley battling for position as well.
Yeah, Corbin Collins just played that perfectly past all 3 of those cars as they're stuck behind. Oh, a little bit of contact. There they go. That's Oscar Enriquez and Quentin Haley.
Haley saving, Enriquez didn't, and that's going to draw the caution. And somewhere TJ Lair probably or something he could throw, because that is going to take away his strategy call entirely, because now everybody can make it to the end of this race. That sucks to see for TJ Lair. I wanted to see how that would play out a lot. I think it could have easily been, if not a race-winning move, come very close to giving him a chance at the race win. We'll take a look at the PRN replay, show you what happened here. Contact between Quentin Haley and Oscar Enriquez down the front straightaway right here. Haley trying to get behind Trafari, but Enriquez was down there. 96 goes for a spin in the grass. Haley was able to save it. Enriquez just couldn't save it and slides back up onto the racing surface. That draws the caution out with cars behind. You'll see the spin up at the top of your screen right there. Contact made through the grass goes the 96. Got some airtime even too right there. And right here, just back up on the track, and that's going to draw the caution 10 times out of 10. You got traffic coming. With that, that is going to make sure that everybody in this race can make it to the end on fuel. So no worries about a second pit stop or anything under green. It's all going to be under caution.
Tell you what, that really helps that 30 of Larry Miles, second under this caution. He get a nice pit stop. He can still be up here towards the front. Also a big break for Jason Samito.
Looks like Larry Miles going to win the race off of pit road over Garrett White, Craven Richard, Aiden Smith, and Corbin Collins. Everybody took 4 tires and fuel. Nobody deviating from any other calls. But it's Larry Miles. Gets off first.
What a fast pit stop by this whole 30 team. 14.3 compared to Garrett White's 14.7. We will be choosing this time. Samito got the lucky dog, so he's back on the lead lap. Big break for him under this caution.
Yeah, the caution definitely. The only person really benefiting from that is Jason Samito, able to get back on the lead lap.
So far, only one DNF this race of Michael Walls and 3 cars a lap down, so 19 on the lead lap coming to this choose.
Choosing this time. You see Miles going to the bottom. Just saw something with my own eyes that I don't know if I believe. Well, I'll laugh at that. That'll be a discussion for Ryan after the broadcast.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll tell you. Don't worry. You'll hear about it after the broadcast is over. So coming to green this time. Call it 23 laps to go when we go back green. Larry Miles, Garrett White, Aiden Smith, Praven Richard, Corbin Collins, your top 5 as they hit the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. Back racing here at Fontana.
Oh, look at Aiden Smith going 3 wide. Oh, bit of contact to the outside. They all keep it together, though.
Miles trying to take advantage of his play. Richard, little sideways there in the middle of the corner. Had to get out of it to save it. Back in the back on the apron. I think it's Chase Gibbons and Connor Jafari. And there goes Quentin Haley. Andre Robinson hit. Brandon Thomas is around. Declan George part of it too. Chase Gibbons gets by.
Oh,
Quentin Haley.
Rodriguez wrecking in turn 3.
He got tagged. He got tagged by the 13 and was damaged heavily anyways. Big miss for everybody. Enriquez heavy damage though. He was hit by Quentin Haley when he was coming back down the track, and that's what gave him all that damage. A lot to unpack here on this restart. We'll go quickly to the BRN replay. I'll show you what I saw in the background. We mentioned Praven Richard get loose. Chase Gibbons was loose entering turn number 1. See this number 6 car sliding into the corner, and he slides all the way down the apron. Jafari almost made contact, gets turned by Jason Marshall. They all saved it here. They were all able to make sure nothing happened, but up ahead, you'll see it happen. Brandon Thomas, gets turned by Jerry Robinson into Quentin Haley. And right there's the heavy hit for Enriquez. And back down the track goes Quentin Haley. Brandon Thomas gets a piece of it too.
Haley took some big hits there. Dirty Robinson took a hard hit into the inside wall.
And the 96 was pretty much just killed, so it shot up the track into the outside wall. No shot of saving that car. We're right on board with him. Killed the car as soon as he saw him coming up, and you can hear the tire just flapping around. And he comes back down the track, and right here Chase Gibbons has a come to Jesus moment, seeing that happen just ahead of him.
I didn't even realize in the back Chase Gibbons, Dimitri Mudras, and TJ Lear all were kind of wrecking themselves. Connor Jafari as well. Everybody was loose in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, everybody's struggling to make it work. Let's ride on board with that 6 Chase Gibbons, though, real quick as well. One last on board here. You'll see him have his struggles in 1 and 2. Right here, he spins down. He gets contact right here from Connor Jafari. He's able to kind of gather it up through the grass and save it. This is what I saw, and then you had mentioned the call out the Quentin Haley wreck. And you see just the chaos start to unfold up ahead. Quentin Haley gets airtime down on the bottom on the apron, having to miss Declan George right there. But then right here, coming into turn 3 up ahead, you see Enriquez pound the outside wall. And then that 96 comes back down the track. And here, right there, Chase Gibbons thinks, my race is over. Just misses it. And he'll live to continue on in this race. We'll see what he can do to finish it off, but that's going to take out a lot more cars and put us with a much smaller field. Enriquez is already withdrawn. Same with, it looks like, Andretti Robinson, so those two not going to be competing for the win in this race here tonight. Quentin Haley, I believe, is knocked out of contention as well on pit road and likely done. Same with Jay Mulder and Ethan Workman. Those two likely out of it. So a lot of shuffling. But we talked about how he benefited from that last caution to get his lap back. Look at where Jason Samito is now. He is going to be lining up 5th place on this restart. Aiden Smith just shoots down to the apron and back up the track. I was kind of confused there. I mean, that wreck has drastically changed this complexion of this race for who is in contention to win it.
Yeah, and as we're about to go green here, we got some just new players up here in the second half. Of course, Larry Miles leading. Bradley Sawinski has found his way into 4th. Jason Samuto, who's a lap down just a few laps ago, he's up here in the top 5.
XASCAR is off. Coming to the restart, it should be 19 laps to go. Larry Miles, Garrett White, the front row. They'll match the gas and get us back to green. Back racing here at Fontana.
Another great restart by that 26 to keep on the outside of Larry Miles.
And something to keep your eye on, too. Chris Lilly is down 1 lap only as they're struggling up ahead. Aiden Smith almost lost it ahead of this field. They're still fighting and struggling. Garrett White leads over Larry Miles. Dimitri Mundras trying to get back up to 3rd ahead of Bradley Sawinski. They're sliding, they're wrecking! Braven Richard, Aiden Smith gets tagged. Big damage on the 89. Caution is back out somehow, though. That could have been a whole lot worse. But that 89 car just out of nowhere lost its hood and its front bumper on my end. I don't know if that's the case for you, Ryan, but that car is destroyed.
Yeah, that car is all mangled up. I was wondering how Praven got spun because this car just whipped around, but now I see what happened. Him and Aiden Smith made contact.
And how about this one? Chris Lilly from 5 laps down is back on the lead lap.
That is crazy damage on the 89.
Yeah, how that accident caused that damage, I don't know, but it did. Smith's still rolling. He's getting back up through the field right now, getting positions back. He's going to have to pit if if it's only showing visually on our end and he is fine. I'm shocked, but he's staying out. Braven Richard is not, neither is Aiden Smith. They're both coming to pit lane. Same with Jason Marshall in the back. So we have 17 drivers that still have a shot at winning this race. Like I said, I think Chris Lilly is the free pass, and how about that for his night? He was 5 laps down at one point in this race. He is now back on the lead lap and has a chance to go out there and win it. Unreal.
Yeah, going to try to get his 2nd win of the season, but it's going to be a hard fight for him to avoid all the chaos. As these restarts have been providing a lot of chaos for us.
Yeah, it's definitely been exciting. And of the 17 drivers that we have with a shot at winning, only 7 of them have ever found victory lane here in the Motorstardom Cup Series on the iRacing side, that being Corbin Collins, who leads this field with 7 wins, 4 of those coming this season. Connor Shafari's got 5 to his name. Dimitri Munders has 3, 2 of which have come here in Season 5. Garrett White's got 2, Chris Lilly has 2, and then, of course, Jason Marshall just joined that list last week at Talladega, and then you've got Bradley Sawinski, who's also got a win to his name. Everyone else behind them, they have yet to find victory lane, including Chase Gibbons in 92 starts. So this is 93 here tonight, looking for his first career win, running 8th right now. You've got Jason Samito in that 94 looking for career win number 1. He's currently running 5th place. Could we go back-to-back with Jason's getting their first career wins? Be pretty cool if it could. Samito got a good shot at it right now in 5th place, coming to the choose, I believe, this time. Ryan Kane, James Yusa, Brandon Thomas, Aiden Smith, Larry Miles, Praven Richard, TJ Lair, and Declan George all have a shot at it too. But we'll see what happens. Garrett White goes to the top side. We'll get the restart on 15 laps to go. Ooh, boy.
Bradley Sawinski, his nose looks a bit pushed in. Don't know where he got that damage from, but he's going to have to be careful these next 15 laps. But how about another good finish if he can still finish up here on the podium? Of course, he started last round at Kentucky with a 2nd place finish and boosted his playoff tremendously. So another good finish here to start this 2nd round would be great for this 2018.
Mentioned the 2018 Sawinski, 1 win to his name here in the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series. That win came a long time ago, almost ancient now. 2023 in December, that would be season number 3, was when he found victory lane last. So he's looking to change that tonight, starting in 4th on the 2nd on the outside lane. If he can do so, that's what he wants to do. He's going to get through Garrett White and Larry Miles, among others, here in the mix for this win in the late stage of this race. 15 laps to go here in the Hollywood 150 when we go back green. Garrett White leading Larry Miles, Bradley Sawinski, Dimitri Munders, and Jason Samito. Green flag back in the air.
Good restart by Garrett White. Sawinski and Miles both side by side for 2nd.
Look at Corbin Collins send it to the outside there in the corner.
Yeah, Sawinski went way up the racetrack. He is very loose. Down into Samito.
Oh,
my
no!
goodness.
Bradley Sawinski is on his lid. And that win is going to have to wait.
Yeah, that's 2 of our playoff drivers. Jason Samito just got back on the lead lap, and his day is going to end as well.
Take a look back. I hear some thunder rolling in the background here for me. Not going to affect this race, hopefully. But you saw that contact, that flip. Man, oh man. Corbin Collins got the wall as well just behind. I was going to talk about that. But Sawinski really had a bad about it there. Samito hits it too. And somehow, some way, we have a car on its lid, and it's only a 2-car incident.
It's been a little while since we've seen a car upside down in this league.
Probably go all the way back to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's the last time I remember with the 48.
Yeah, 48 of Nick Martinez, I believe, was the one that went up and over. Tonight, it is Bradley Sawinski, unfortunately. Not the way he wanted his night to go. Going to start his championship hopes in the round of 9. Ending on his lid. Jason Samito as well, going to be out of this race too, likely. Maybe not. We'll see. There's a lot of heavy damage on that 94, though. I'd be shocked if he makes it. He's not making it in this race, but... that should trim the field down to 15 drivers who have a chance at winning this. And with that thunder comes scared dogs. So here come the dogs into the room. So if you hear barking, you'll know what happened.
Oh, we got a familiar face, or a few familiar faces back up here. Dimitri Mundris back into third. Connor Tafari up here in fourth. And how about James Usa, currently in fifth? First time he's been in the top 5 all day long. Looking to have a decent finish tonight. So we'll be restarting with 11 laps to go.
They're coming to the choose, maybe this time. Got 15 drivers basically in contention for this one. And it's going to come down to this choose here to says the field with 11 laps to go.
We'll see Larry Miles on this restart. He hasn't really been getting the best restarts even when he was the control car, so we'll see if he can maybe keep up with the 26.
Larry Miles still looking for win number 1 in what is his 30th start tonight. Aiden Smith as well making start number 30. A lot of damage on the 89, though, not likely going to have a chance at winning it, but we'll see if he can maybe get up there in the mix. If some more chaos happens, he's not out of it yet. He's not out of it. No one's out of it that's on the lead lap, I would say. But it's 11 laps to go. Garrett White just hoping and praying that this field can go green at the end. Eleven laps of racing left here at Auto Club. It's White, Miles, Trafari, Mundris, the top 4, heading for the Geico restart zone. White's going to mash the gas, get us back to racing.
Another good restart by that 26. Look at Connor Trafari going 3 wide underneath Larry Miles, and Dimitri Mundris trying to get back up here.
Trafari fighting like crazy to get a shot back at the race lead. Larry Miles got a better launch this time at least, to the point to where he has got a good run through the middle.
Mundris has the run on the top, but he's being side drafted by that 30 of Larry Miles down the back straightaway. Miles going to try to clear this 14, not clear just yet. Mundris still to his outside, coming to 10 laps to go.
Oh, Mundris trying to get down to his inside, maybe side draft. Instead makes contact with the right rear. Somehow they save it. And Miles now clear for second, setting his sights on Garrett White, who just hopes to check out for the rest of this field.
And Garrett White doesn't want to see these guys wreck each other. Mundris just got loose, but he doesn't want to see them battle so he can pull away and get this win.
The best thing the 26 can see is a side-by-side battle in his mirror between the 30 and the 14. If Mundris and Miles start to fight for position number 2, then Garrett White can just happily ride off into the sunset and win this race. Larry Miles going to catch the outside wall. Mundris now clear for second. Here comes Trafari trying to get a third. Look at the battle back there. That's Corbin Collins and Chase Gibbons battling it out for 6th place. And now James Usa to the inside of Larry Miles for 4th. But as all of this happens, Garrett White starting to pull away from this field.
Chris Lilly has found himself up here in 8th. Looking to pass these two, Corbin Collins and Chase Gibbons, but now he's under fire from Jason Marshall.
Oh,
turned by Lair.
What a save! What a save! Got caught by the 86, drifted up off the corner. Jason Marshall being there probably saved that 53. Was going to talk about the recovery to get into the top 10 tonight from all of his woes. And almost went up in smoke again, but able to save it off the rear bumper of the 3 car. And now we've watched this battle for the lead is going to start closing in. Moonders slightly faster last time by. This time by, though, White has got a faster lap time as they continue to battle for spots all throughout the field. It's a matter of the race leader. He's gaining and then losing. It looks like that 14 starting to cut into this race lead with 7 laps to go.
James is getting caught by the cars behind him. Chase Gibbons, Corbin Collins, Jason Marshall, all those playoff drivers, all 4 of these guys playoff drivers. They're all going to look for any position they can get.
Yeah, spots in the top 5 award more points. And you see Collins getting the outside wall. The point system here, it's a weird one than what you're maybe used to seeing here in the feature. Of course, the winner gets 60 points, 55 points to second, and 50 points to third, 45 to fourth, and 44 on back from 5th on back. So it's important to get as many spots as you can because that spot Larry Miles holds, if you can get up there and catch him, that's about a 5-point swing.
71 of Corbin Collins, he is struggling right now. That car looks super tight. I don't know if hitting that wall when Jason Samito and Bradley Swinsky crashed affected his car, but that 70 point very loose now off the corner, trying to hold on to it. He is struggling.
I don't know if my mic picked that up. Some nasty hail coming down right now, so if we lose power, I apologize. Hopefully we don't, and we can get to the end of this race coming to 5 laps to go. Dimitri Mundras starting to reel in that number 26 now.
Both these drivers just trying to play playoff spoiler. All they're looking for is that win. Marshall's going to clear USA to get into that top 5. Larry Miles, he slowly closed back in on the back bumper of Connor Trifari, looking to be our highest finishing playoff driver, being past this 9 car. Oh my goodness, Braven Richard just almost wrecked himself, blocking TJ Lear all the way to the wall. They all hold on to it for now.
Oh, Garrett White and Dimitri Mundras both sideways off of turn 2. Got a special guest next to me here. You can join the broadcast booth. Terrified of the hail that just came down. But meanwhile, the battle is still ongoing for the lead. It is Mundras chasing Garrett White. Slowly closing in, not a ton, but still in striking distance, coming to 3 laps to go. It's not over yet for this 26. He's going to have one last gasp coming from the 14. Meanwhile, the battle is on for 3rd, and the battle further back as they're side by side for 6. Here comes Chris Lilly, going to slide in front of the 6 of Chase Gibbons. Can he clear him? No! Gibbons back to the inside!
Crossover from Chase Gibbons, trying to look underneath. Just a little bit of side draft on the door of that 53. Side by side for 3rd. Miles is going to take it for now. We'll see if Trifari tries to cross him over. He will. Miles is going to block him.
Oh, James Yusa jumping to the outside. Gibbons going to pull up the block. Lilly down on the bottom now. And they're going to be 3 wide through 1 and 2. That's Lair inside of Gibbons, inside of Lilly. As they do this, though, up front, getting away from him now, Garrett White. He is now back out to a half a second lead and more. I think Mundras might have caught the wall.
Yeah, I think the lead might be shot here for Dimitri Mundras as Garrett White is about to take the white flag. This battle for 3rd, though, between these 2 playoff drivers currently going just side by side, but Larry Miles has position right now.
White flag is out. Last lap here for Garrett White. Moondress has to throw something at the wall and just pray that it sticks. Coming off of turn 2, he has gotten it sideways, but I don't think he's going to have enough to catch this 26. Looking for his 3rd career win. It'll be his 1st win in quite a bit, if he can get it. Coming through 3 and 4, Moondress sent it in! Couldn't get there! Off of turn 4, since April of last year is when it's been. Garrett White will snap that spell and go back to victory lane. He wins it here at Auto Club. A hard-fought effort by Dimitri Moondress, but it comes up 1 spot short in 2nd.
Just an absolute dominating performance by this 26 Garrett White. He definitely deserved it tonight. Welcome back to victory lane for this 26.
Mentioned it was all the way back at Nashville last year, season 2 of this league. Of course, he's not a full-time driver, running part-time basis. His wins coming at Bristol and Nashville, and now he can add Auto Club to the list of places where he secured a checkered flag. Burning it down on the front straightaway is Garrett White. So it's Garrett White burning it down on the front stretch. Let's take a look at your finishing results for tonight's race. He'll find himself into that checkered pattern victory lane on the front straightaway. Put himself in a good position. Let's take a look at your finishing results here. Garrett White takes the checkered flag over Dimitri Moondress. Larry Miles with a great start here to the round of 9 with a 3rd place run over Connor Trifari, Jason Marshall. Chris Lilly with a rebound to 6th place after being 5 laps down in this race. He's able to storm back to a top 10 finish. Chase Gibbons coming home in 7th. James Usa in 8th. TJ Lair comes home in 9th. And Praven Richard rounds out your top 10.
There's one driver we really didn't talk about. It's the 11th place finisher, Ryan Kane. Corbett Collins finishes 12th. Declan George, 13th. Brandon Thomas, 14th. Aiden Smith, 15th. Jason Smito, 16th. Bradley Sawinski, 17th. Jay Mulder, 18th. Oscar Enriquez, 19th. And Andretti Robinson rounds out your top 20.
And the rest of your field was Oscar Enriquez finishing, or actually, should be Quentin Haley 21st, Ethan Workman 22nd, Michael Wallace 23rd. I don't know how scoring is messed up when these drivers were already out of the race and we never had any issues with scoring disappearing. I just love it. It's great. Anyway, so we'll see if we can get a hold of our podium here shortly. First things first, we got to get a hold of Mr. Larry Miles. Let's see if we can get him down. As we wait for him. Eventually we'll find him. I think he's celebrating right now. Just a fact about it, this is his career best finish. It's his matches, his finish in Indianapolis earlier this season. That is his career best 3rd place finish tonight. If we can get a hold of him. Maybe. Well, while we wait for him, Ryan, what were your thoughts of this race here tonight?
I mean, I watching it from the commentator's booth, I had a pretty good time. We had a nice green flag run there in the middle of it. A few cautions there at the end, but all in all, just a great race here at Fontana to start this second round.
Yeah, it was a great battle, I think, through the field. And we had some battling up front, but Garrett White, man, he was able to pull away and just take off with it at the end of it all. Just checking to see, it was a 75 lap race, and he led 50 of those laps here tonight. So that does not come as a surprise to me to see that he led so many laps. But yeah, it was a fun race. The battles we had, especially that green flag run, I just wish we got it green to the end. I would have loved to have seen what TJ Larry was working on, that number 86 team. I think they had a trick up their sleeve they were going to work on to try to get to this checkered flag first. But unfortunately, the caution coming out didn't allow that to happen, and with that, we get Garrett White in victory lane. Dominant car. He gets his checkered flag. It's been a while since he failed in victory lane, and you celebrate with it. So I don't know what happened to Larry. Like I said, I think he might be too busy celebrating this third place finish here tonight. So we're going to see if we can maybe get a hold of our second place finisher on the podium, Dimitri Munoz. Ryan, you want to take it away?
Hey, Dimitri, it's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Dimitri, it's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, well, Dimitri, a nice little run for you tonight here at Fontana. Of course, couldn't really capitalize and get that win at the end, but a nice second place finish for you. How do you feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Good recovery drive. Me and Connor unfortunately made some contact off turn two earlier in the race, and that really hurt both of us, but especially me. I was overheating so much after that, going half throttle, just trying to keep it from blowing up. But thankfully, got that caution around lap 50 and was able to get it all fixed and got back up to second. So happy about that.
And yeah, that whole green flag run, you were basically just battling diversity. Of course, that contact with Connor, you had contact with Jason Marshall. I think you got spun by Andretti Robinson. So it's just it did not go that great for you. But you, like you said, you recovered for a nice second place finish. I do want to ask you something. That green flag run after you pitted, we saw you saving and like clutching into the corners. I don't think you were going to be able to make it, but what was your strategy there if it actually played out?
No, that actually had nothing to do with saving. I was just trying to keep the temp low. My water temp was getting really high down the end of each straightaway, so I just trying to keep it from blowing up. That's all.
All right. Well, Dimitri, you got any sponsors, teammates, shout outs you want to give out tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Garrett on a good drive for the win. Shout out to everyone at Bull Shock. We had two top fives tonight again, so shout out to everybody.
All right. Well, Dimitri, congrats on your good finish tonight. Next week, we head to Rockingham Raceway. So that should be a fun one. I hope to see you there.
All right, appreciate it.
Well, I don't think we're going to get to talk to Larry Miles today. So we'll head over to our Dawson Allen, who's picked up our winner of Garrett White.
And it has been a long time coming for Garrett White to get back to victory lane. A dominant performance for this 26 machine nets him his first win since April of last year. First things first, Garrett, congratulations on the win.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. About time, right? It's been definitely been a while, but glad to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. We have talked to you a couple times here since then. You had a second place run in Las Vegas. It looks like earlier this year, or last year, actually, just about a year ago to the date was the last time you were on the podium here in this XASCAR Motorsport Cup Series, and you pick up that one extra spot you needed to get the checkered flag. Just what was that race like for you behind the wheel of 26? Just pretty much at this point, it was logging laps and just kind of biding your time as these green flag cycles happened, then the cautions came.
Exactly, exactly. It seemed like clean air was kind of the way to go, and just kind of staying out of trouble, leading the race was definitely the way to go, and just kind of biding my time and survive those late race cautions, and ultimately got it done at the end. So feels great, feels great.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just those last couple restarts, you saw that battle that was happening behind you. What do you think, was going through your mind at the time, just kind of hoping and praying maybe no caution would come out and they would get to the end of that race with no problem?
Right, right. Yeah, we kind of had a small green flag run there towards the end, so I knew if we had a late race caution, then tire strategy may come into play there. And obviously, when you have Dimitri Mundros behind you, it's always you're always wondering if he's gonna dive bomb you or something, because he's just that type of racer, very aggressive. So just glad to get it done and survived, and it feels good, like I said.
Absolutely. Well, you're a part-time racer, haven't really gone full-time here, just running for checkered flag. So, how does it feel just to get that checkered flag, get that off your back and maybe go for some more here at the end of this season?
Right, right. Like you said, I don't run full time. Kind of run when I can, schedule wise, and just it's reassuring knowing that you can kind of come out here and compete to the highest level. So it like I said, it just feels great, and takes a lot of load off you knowing that you can continue to compete against the very best.
Well, alrighty, it's a race win for you here tonight, Garrett. Teammates, sponsors, shoutouts, what got it done for you?
So I'm gonna shout out my team, Whiteout Sim Racing. It's on the hood of my car. I think I had one teammate tonight, Pravi Richards, or Pravin Richards, whatever he goes by these days. But just want to shout out the team. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, alrighty, it's been almost a year since or almost 2 years, I think, since he last got a checkered flag. If I'm reading numbers right, yeah, almost 2 years, but finally able to break that dry spell and take home a checkered flag tonight here at Auto Club in dominant fashion. Garrett White is your winner tonight. Congrats on the win, Garrett.
Absolutely, finally, thank y'all.
Well, with that, that'll do it from us here. I noticed we had somebody sneak in the booth. I think Garrett might have accidentally left the door open coming in here. That is Bradley Sawinski. He finished this race tonight in outstanding fashion in 17th. I don't know if he's here. Brad, are you here? Maybe not. He's up here, but maybe he's just.
Hey,
Up there he is. Yeah. Hey, how's your head doing?
no, no, I was just saying,
Oh,
Larry Miles
Ryan.
has finally joined the
Oh, wait.
waiting room.
Larry's joined finally. Okay, we can talk to You know what? We'll pull. Ryan, how about you talk to Larry?
All right, hey, Larry, you got a copy? I guess not.
I hear you.
All right. All right. Well, a nice little run for you tonight. Qualified up front and finished up front, holding off a hard charging Connor Jafar there at the end. And just your third place finish tonight. How do you feel?
I feel like it could have been more. I'm, I'm annoyed with how that went. Like on one of those restarts, that's where I lost the race. Just my restarts were bad. I think I could have won that.
Of course, you played that big strategy there to get up front, pitting about 5 laps earlier than everybody else, and then that caution came out, and you basically just stayed at the front for the rest of the race, and you were the highest finishing playoff driver. So coming into the rest of these races, top of the boards right now, how do you feel about that?
Sounds good, but I'm gonna try and be as aggressive as I was this race and the other ones, because that'll be fun.
You got, I believe, Rockingham, and if I could find the schedule again, Nashville Super Speedway. So coming into those races, what do you expect? How do you expect your car to run?
Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna do the best I can. I mean, at least get top 10. That'd be good.
All right, Larry. Well, you got any sponsors, teammate shout outs you want to give out tonight?
Nope. I'm good.
All right, well, Larry, congrats on your third place finish tonight. Next week we head to Rockingham Speedway, and I hope to see you there.
All right, thank you.
We can see if we can talk to Bradley Sawinski now, if he wants to.
think he's vanished. I think he disappeared, but that's fine. But yeah, that was a great race, and I'm glad we got to be here to witness it. But tomorrow night we'll also have another great race, of course, at a similar racetrack. Ryan, you mentioned this is your favorite racetrack coming up tomorrow night. The Sofa Racing League kicks off its next round of the playoffs. The round of 10 kicks off at Michigan tomorrow night here on BRN.
Yeah, going to be definitely a fun one with all those trucks. Of course, starting their second round as well. So definitely going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, we'll keep your eyes on that one tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern here on BRN. And then it will be next Wednesday night when we pick back up action here at Rockingham for the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series. I don't know if I'll have a voice tomorrow. We'll see. Well, I'm hoping that I will have a voice. If not, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot going on. Of course, everybody knows I love college hoops. College hoops is kicking off. March Madness actually playing right now. Texas and Xavier have been having a back-and-forth affair. Texas blew a 47-39 halftime lead. It is Xavier up right now by just 2 points with about 3 minutes to go. So when you tune off of this, turn on that game and watch the first four matchup between the Xavier Musketeers, Texas Longhorns. Looks like it's going to be a good one down to the wire. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, as always, to these broadcasts. If it wasn't for you watching, we'd be talking to a bunch of nobodies. And thank you to these drivers for putting on their shows for us, because if it wasn't for them, we'd be showing you nothing. I want to thank you, Ryan Bogey, as always, for joining me in the booth. And for everybody, this is Dawson Allen signing off, saying so long, and have a great rest of your night.